Thank you for tuning into the Athletes Forum podcast. I'm your host, Jamal Clay. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, like the video, share with a friend. This is the locker room, and we just talk about.
We doing everything they talk about. You know I'm everything a boss about. Not putting work and gotta talk.
All right, locker room. It's time to talk about it. Today is the day. Today is the day. What do I mean by that? Penn State, Notre Dame in the Orange Bowl. Right? This is going to be an exciting one. This is definitely going to be an exciting one. You guys know how this works. Drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Line's at -1.5 right now, favoring Notre Dame versus Penn State. How do we want to look at this game? How does – because these teams are kind of similar. Great defense, right? Quarterbacks kind of similar, familiar. Two teams that really haven't won the game, right? Let's talk about it. Let's start with Notre Dame. Notre Dame returns back to the Orange Bowl since the first time since 2013 when they had their ass whooped by Alabama in the national championship. We all know about that. That was the A.J. McCarron ass whooping. That was the Trent Richardson ass whooping. That was the Nick Saban legacy, dynasty era ass whooping against the manti-tail Notre Dame team, Brian Kelly. So there's some wounds here for Notre Dame. Obviously, these guys here don't care about that time. But when we look at the last time Notre Dame was in the Orange Bowl, it wasn't a pretty sight. It was a 42-14 loss to Alabama. So what is this Notre Dame team? Why is this Notre Dame team different? This is a team that's won 12 straight since the horrible loss from Northern Illinois at home. This is a team that, has been, you could say they've been tested throughout the season. Opening week versus Texas A&M, even most recently beating Georgia, even before that, Indiana, and some tough games along the way. They've been somewhat tested. You could probably say they've been – no, I'll probably say Penn State's been more tested. But they've had some games for sure. This is a veteran team. This is a team led by defense. Marcus Freeman, former defensive coordinator before becoming the coach at Notre Dame. Riley Leonard, quarterback from Duke, right? Now quarterback at Notre Dame. So this is a team that is veteran. This is a team that is, created and developed to play the longevity game, and that's what got them to this point today. It's a team that's deep also. Even though they got some injuries to the offensive line, Jeremiah Love, we don't know his situation. From what I'm hearing and seeing, doesn't look great. How does Notre Dame get the run game going? Because they're going to have to. They're going to have to get the run game going in order to beat this Penn State team, who could be going up against a banged-up Abdul Carter. All right? One thing I like about Notre Dame's defense, I'm a secondary guy. One thing I like about Notre Dame's defense is their secondary is pretty good. And I like the guys that got back there. They're going to have their hands full with probably one of the top offensive weapons in all college football, and that's Tyler Warren, tight end from Penn State. Now, what we've been seeing throughout the games is, Jordan Clark has been the primary safety nickel that's been playing the guys in the slot and defending those inside routes. And this is a Notre Dame team that plays a lot of defense, while Xavier Watts has been playing on the back end. It's not a good matchup. That is not a good matchup. Jordan Clark, I don't think they'll do this, but Jordan Clark and where he's been playing would not be a good matchup for Notre Dame versus Tyler Warren. If anything, Xavier Watts might have to be that guy this game. Maybe Jordan plays a little further back. Maybe he plays over top. Maybe you double him. You trust anybody other than Tyler Warren to beat you in the pass game. That's what Notre Dame has to do. And stop the run. Because you got the two-headed monster with Nick Singleton and Keontae Allen, I believe his name is. And Drew Aller, great quarterback. If I'm Notre Dame, I'm making Drew Aller beat me in the pass game. I'm going to stop the run. I'm going to double Tyler Warren. Where are you going? Where are you going, right? If you look at other ways that Notre Dame could win, they're going to have to win on defense. They're going to have to win on defense because this Penn State team has shown it could get a lackluster. They could get a bit of lackluster, throughout games and, get bored with, taking the profit sometimes and Drew Aller trying to be the guy. And I don't think it's been the same issue for Penn State. They don't have that receiver that James Franklin has been dying to get and really hasn't had probably since Dotson, maybe Jahan Dotson, or maybe since Goodwin. Notre Dame's it's almost their identity not to have like the top guy, top receiver. This is a school that's always been based on running the ball and playing defense. All right. When we look at the Penn State side of things, has Penn State proven they could beat the top tier team? You could say they've been a little bit more battle tested, playing in the Big Ten over Notre Dame. Even that's arguable when you look at like some of their top wins and losses. But has Penn State proven that they can compete and be a top tier team? The Ohio State team they lost to is not the Ohio State team right now. The Ohio State team right now is a little bit different, a little bit abnormal than probably one of the best, most aggressive, fierce Ohio State teams I've seen probably since the Ezekiel Elliott Bosa days. And then they play Oregon well. But you look at how Oregon played against Ohio State, and it's like maybe Ohio State should have been the best team from the beginning, and they just lost that one in Eugene. I don't know. But for Penn State, does Abdul Carter play? He's playing around social media. I don't know. He's sending out signs and fairy tales. We'll see if he plays tonight. Because if he does not play tonight, long day. Long day. Notre Dame, obviously good defense. How's Penn State win this game? One, offensively, you got to run the ball, obviously. But I don't think you have to rely on Drew this whole game. I don't think you have to go out there and try to make a statement that Drew's the next best quarterback or the quarterback for the future. He already admitted he's coming back. Will he or not? I don't know. But if you're Penn State, you need to be balanced. If I'm Penn State, I'm doing whatever I can to establish a run game, and I'm attacking the middle of that Notre Dame defense with play action, with crossers, right? It's a Notre Dame defense that plays a lot of man. You find your matchups, right? You do whatever you can to get Tyler Warren the ball as many times as possible. Don't do what you've done in the past and, in tough moments, not get Tyler Warren the ball. And if you can't get him the ball, get the ball to your running backs or whatever. But you do whatever you can to get Tyler Warren the ball. And Drew Aller, just play within the system. Drew Aller is good enough, I think, where he doesn't have to do too much, where he could, win this game for Penn State. But we don't want to make it all on Drew Aller's hands. All right. If Notre Dame puts Drew Aller in a position where he has to be the guy, he has to make that throw, he has to put the game in his hands, Notre Dame's going to win this game. I don't think Drew Aller or Riley Leonard are any of those guys that could just go and throw the ball 25, 30 times and win the game. This is going to be a low-scoring game, right? This is going to be a tough game, defensive game. If you like defense, this one's for you. This is going to be interesting. Locker room, drop a comment. Let me know what you think so far. How does Notre Dame win? How does Penn State win? I'll comment below. I like to do that. Let's see. If I had to pick a game, if I had to pick a team to win this game, Lions -1 Notre Dame, I'm rocking with Notre Dame. These are two teams that are similar. We already talked about it. Good defense, quarterbacks led by coaches who need to prove something. Notre Dame, bad loss. Notre Dame has a bad loss, but they also have great wins. We talk about Georgia. We talk about A&M. We talk about Indiana, a couple other wins sprinkled in there. Penn State is left in the same predicament. We're trying to get over the hump. All right. If this is the game they can get over the hump, if they're looking for a game to get over the hump, this is the game against Notre Dame because this is going to be the most compatible team they've played. All right. And when I look at this game, for me, is which team has their moment, gets over the hump, makes a statement. Gotta rock with Notre Dame, man. They've shown they can be better. They've shown they've gotten aggressive. They've shown that this is not the same Notre Dame team that went to the Orange Bowl about 10 years ago, lost to Alabama. They've shown that it's not the same. This is not your Brian Kelly Notre Dame team that doesn't show up in big games. They've shown they've gotten better, even from last year with their blunders against Marshall, with their blunders against Ohio State, and they've improved that this year. They've shown to take their identity of their head coach, Marcus Freeman. And for me, it just feels like this is the game Penn State gets stuck again. It feels like this is the game Penn State this is the last hurdle to get over, but they can't get over. I like Notre Dame in this game. 24-17. Obviously, they cover. Notre Dame goes on to the national championship. All right. Drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think.